The Ukraine military has managed to damage Russia's most advanced fighter jet. Main Directorate of Intelligence, or GUR, wrote on its Telegram channel, on June 8, 2024, a Su-57 multi-purpose fighter of the aggressor state was hit on the territory of the Oktyabinsk airfield in the Astrakhan region of the Russian Federation, located 589 kilometers or 365 miles from the line of combat. It added, "The pictures show that on the 7th of June, the Su-57 was standing intact, and on the 8th there were ruptures from the explosion and characteristic spots of the fire caused by the fire damage near it." In this video, Defense Updates reports on the first-ever combat loss of the Russian Sukhoi Su-57 Felon. Let's get started. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted VPN brands worldwide that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte, an industry-leading Big Four auditing firm. NordVPN provides an encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy by preventing external entry to your internet traffic, as well as enabling you to access content that's blocked based on geolocation. Best of all, with one NordVPN account, you can secure up to 6 devices at the same time. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive savings by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Apart from pictures shared by GUR, images from Maxar Technologies also show the same. Reports from other sources collaborate with this. The pro-Russian fighter bomber Telegram channel, known for its coverage of aviation losses and its strong ties to the Russian aerospace forces, confirmed that one Felon was hit. It reported that the attack was carried out by 3 Ukrainian drones. Fighter bomber wrote, "The Su-57 was damaged by shrapnel. It's now being determined whether it can be restored or not. If not, then this will be the first combat loss of the Su-57 in history." While unclear, it looks like a vertical stabilizer has been blown off. It's to be noted that shrapnel can damage the airframe and expensive components, and repairs may be more expensive than building a new one. The Sukhoi Su-57 is a 5th-generation, stealthy, single-seat, twin-engine jet multi-role fighter aircraft designed for air superiority and ground attack operations. It's the successor of the Su-35 and Russia's answer to the American F-35 Lightning II and F-22 Raptor. Although most information is classified, sources within the Sukhoi company and Defense Ministry have openly stated that the aircraft is stealthy, super maneuverable, and has super cruise capability, incorporates substantial amounts of composite materials, and possesses advanced avionics such as active phased array radar and sensor fusion. A prototype first flew on the 29th of January 2010. Su-57 is the first operational aircraft in the Russian Air Force service to use stealth technology. Weapons are carried internally in weapons bays within the airframe, and antennas are recessed from the surface of the skin to preserve the aircraft's stealthy shape. Also, radar absorbent material, or RAM, has been used to reduce its radar returns. Su-57 is designed to have extreme maneuverability at both supersonic and subsonic speeds. This can provide it with a brutal advantage in dogfights and help it defeat missiles with extreme evasive maneuvers instead of entirely relying on stealth. This is the first fighter jet to utilize 3D thrust vectoring. Su-57 has N036 Belka radar system, and this provides it with 360-degree coverage. It also houses an infrared search and track (IRST) sensor, which can track an aircraft by its infrared signatures. But all is not well with the program, and there's no serial productions as of now. It's likely that the Russian forces have around 20 to 25 of these fighters, out of which 9 to 12 are combat capable. The program is actually delayed by a decade, mainly because of budget constraints and technical issues. The involvement of Russia's newest fighter in the war in Ukraine has been unclear. In January, the UK Defense Ministry, MOD, reported that Su-57s had been used in Ukraine since at least June 2022. Before the MOD's statement, there were intermittent claims that the aircraft were used to launch standoff strikes, but were not operating in heavily contested spaces. The conclusions to be drawn from this are debatable. Given Russia's lack of air superiority, it's peculiar that it isn't using its best asset, which is supposedly capable of penetrating contested airspace. This is probably because, while the Su-57 has stealthy features and a reduced signature design, it does not match the capabilities of fifth-generation American fighters, like the F-22 Raptor or F-35 Joint Strike Fighter. The unit cost of each Su-57 is likely around $50 to $70 million. As evident, the hit is not a direct one, and a relatively simple and cheap shelter could have prevented damage. In a report on the Su-57, the Russian fighter-bomber Telegram channel complained about the lack of protection from drone attacks. The channel wrote, "I'll tell you again, for the price of this Su-57 alone, shelters from UAVs could be built for all PT aircraft in the country. Of course, if you don't bully them along the way and don't give out kickbacks." Another unnamed colonel called for an investigation by the Russian Aerospace Forces and the Department Voynoy Kontrrazvedski, DVKR, the FSB's military counterintelligence unit. The colonel complained to the Gray Zone Telegram channel, "I appeal to the commanders of the air bases of the Russian Aerospace Forces and the heads of the DVKR departments supervising them." He added, "What or whose instructions do you need to create covers for our aircraft equipment? What are you waiting for? By your inactions, you're supporting the enemy." The colonel continued, "I realize that the creation of solid underground or above-ground reinforced concrete shelters may be an issue that cannot be resolved at your level. At the same time, taking into account that the main damage to our aircraft comes from primary and secondary fragments formed after explosions of UAVs and enemy missiles, to preserve aircraft equipment in most cases, aluminum hangars or hangars made of sandwich panels will be sufficient. The price of one such hangar with an area of 12 by 6 by 45 meters, less than 1 million rubles, or 11,245 American dollars. It remains to be seen how Russian military leaders fix this issue. Ukrainians would certainly want this type of opening to keep popping up, which can be exploited by them.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.